everyone, well, we're here, we're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and for this video we will be talking about It Works. It has been quite a while since we have talked about It Works here on the channel, I believe almost a year. So just as a quick refresher, they are a health and wellness MLM. I know you're shocked and surprised. You've never heard of those ever. Those don't exist. And of course, It Works, if I were to take a guess, are totally unique, totally different, and not like any other MLM on the market because, again, we've never heard of a health and wellness MLM. So what I'd like to do before we get started into the React is just refresh ourselves with the income disclosure statement. Alright, so we have the 2022. I was honestly kind of expecting a 2023, but we have the 2022 income disclosure statement. And as we can see, distributor is the first rank, having 85% of everybody in the company. And then the next rank is executive with only 1%. And then Ruby with 6%, Emerald with about 2%. Diamond, which I believe Diamond is a prestigious rank, usually in any MLM. If they have Diamond, that is the one they want to go with. And that is 2%, or I guess if the active distributors, it is 3% of the company, and they make about $2,800 a month or so. And then you go lower, and you get to 2% of the company. You go a little bit lower or higher, depending on how we want to look at it. You get to 0.85% of the company, Presidential Diamond at 0.5%, and Ambassador Diamond at 22%. I like how they just didn't feel like changing the gemstone. They're just like, it's gonna be a diamond. You know, it's gonna be a prestigious title. We'll just tackle on double, triple, presidential, ambassador diamond, whatever, because truly, they want to get to the rank of diamond. I mean, I would feel like even getting to the rank of, weirdly enough, executive, which has 2% of the company being the second rank, and you make about $400 a month. You're in 2% of your company making $400 a month. But it's not like the next rank, which is Ruby, at 9%, you're making like that much more. You know, you're making $660 a month. So, you know, really, I mean, even like the rank of Diamond, 2,800 is great. You know, and it can be life-changing to some people. I'd say probably double diamond and definitely triple diamond are the life-changing numbers that I think people can't typically get in, like, let's say, like, a minimum wage job working full-time, something like that. So you really need to be in the top 2 to less than 1% of the company to be making any sort of livable income. And just like every other MLM, that's how these income disclosure statements go. You have to be in usually 3% or less in your company to see any sort of money. But when they advertise this to people, they're making it seem like you get in, you just do hard work, and everybody can achieve these sort of numbers. But if that was the case, the numbers would be a lot better than what they are, instead of majority of people being in the first rank. And in It Works, in order to rank advance, you have to recruit. So to get to the rank of executive and Ruby, you have to recruit. So I think that's why a lot of people stay at the distributor rank, because they don't want to have to recruit. They don't want to recruit. And then, of course, when you get to these higher ranks like Diamond, you need the people below you to also want to recruit. So you need the people below you and the people below them to recruit in order for you to rank advance. So that's where the issue lies. That's where we see these numbers being so horrible, because you're so dependent on getting people involved in this, getting those people to get people involved with this, and so on and so forth. And that's how we see this incredibly uneven structure of people in different ranks. The video we will be reacting to is our host is going to be interviewing 2 people who have become the exclusive, the amazing, the one-of-a-kind, never can be done before rank of Diamond. So we have 2 people in the rank of Diamond, and they're just going to be talking about, I assume, how they got there, why it's so amazing, and why everybody else in the call also needs to try and reach the 3% of the company, which is the rank of Diamond. So, with all of that said, let's get started into today's video.
Yeah, Guys, I'm really excited for tonight. I'm going to give this Zoom a really quick intro on like why I'm excited about where we are right now, why I've asked these two ladies to come on, and I think it's just going to be fire. We haven't planned anything because, you know, we like to roll with the flow. What's like go with the flow, roll with the flow? Who knows? Anyways, really excited for what's going on. Put it in the chat how long you've been a part of It Works for. You know, we haven't if we haven't met before, I see some new faces on here. So I've been doing this business for 6.5 years, which is crazy to think about. And you know, it's just with everything that's in the last 6 years, like not even just business, right? Do we just all like, who agrees that it's been crazy? This is water, by the way. I know I was going to cheers like it was something better. It's just water in my Stanley. It's my third one today. But I don't know if you guys can feel it, but just this shift with everything that's going on, I'm excited. I think everything that we've brought back, building for ranks. Oh my gosh, if you guys see me looking super tanned, you'll know that there's a self-tanner. That is like what I want. I am fighting for that, okay? I am doing my DIY self-tanner, defining gel and self-tanner. You heard it here first, okay? Mix those two together. You're gonna tighten yours. That was $1 million hack right there. So if you weren't listening, wake up, okay? Because that's the best thing that you can do, self-tanner and a little bit of defining gel. Anyways, there's been a lot of excitement and changes and things. And so the reason why I wanted to have tonight, first of all, they are both brand new diamonds as of last month. So give them some shout out, some love in the chat.
You know, she says they're brand new diamonds as of last month, and if they don't hit those numbers again going forward, they'll become, you know, not diamonds anymore. And then they could hit again, and then they're brand new diamonds again. And then they could not hit it again, and then hit it, you know, 4 months down the line. Then they're brand new diamonds again. And that's why this is so all up in the air, because you're dependent on people staying, you're dependent on hitting your sales numbers, your team numbers, everything.
The chat, if you guys don't know, Diamond is the top 1% or 2% of our company. It's a full-time income for any of
I wonder if they get an income disclosure statement that's like newer, or if I just didn't do enough research. I just went off of the It Works website. So I believe what we saw was that it's the 3%. So it's gone. It's now even harder to get to the rank of diamond than it was just a year ago. But honestly, that doesn't surprise me.
Any of you guys that are like, hey, I'm money driven, you guys, diamond is the rank where you can unlock the compensation plan. And if you're here to make a full-time income, you know, diamond is where you want to go. Okay. So in historically the slowest months of the year, we have who just promoted to diamond. But not only that, this is actually both their second time around in the business, which is super interesting and exciting. So we're gonna kind of go back and forth tonight. I'm so pumped that we're doing this. And guys, if you have questions, make sure you throw it in the chat. Oh, I thought like I'm gonna go first. Whoopsie daisies. Let's just all stay. No pressure. Everyone look. Okay, everyone look. Just joking. Okay, sorry. I feel like, you know, sometimes you just gotta do it. Okay, anyways, really excited. So in 3 minutes or less, let's say 3 to 5 minutes, give us your story, everything that kind of led you here.
Are we starting with me? Can you guys hear me okay?
Here, I'm going to spotlight myself too, because I was nodding and then I realized you couldn't see me. Yeah, we're starting with you.
Okay, so my story is really long, but I'm going to shorten it as much as I can for you guys. I originally found this business scrolling on Facebook over 8 years ago. Somebody did a host post about the wraps, and it was so long ago, the host post wasn't even a thing. We called it a bunny post because the results multiply. And I saw the wraps, I scrolled past it because I was like, that doesn't work. Like, there's no way. I'm somebody who came from like a fitness background. My mentality was, there's nothing that can do that but diet and exercise, right? So I scroll.
Pretty good mentality to have. Diet and exercise has been the #1 proven way to lose weight. All of these other flu ways are just ways for people to make money off of people, to convince them that there are other ways. Now, there can be helpful other ways, of course, but the tried and true way is diet and exercise. And definitely when it comes to these MLMs, they will convince you that their products are actually the answer and not you doing the hard work of the diet and exercise. Especially It Works. They will convince you that it is their products, their ridiculous gummies, their wraps. No, it is you doing the hard work, but they want you to give the credit to a product. Well, actually, the MLM.
So I scrolled past it, but I have 2 kids. So I went back and I went, what if it does work? And I actually ordered the wraps to prove they didn't work.
Did she say she ordered them because she has 2 kids? I don't know what that has to do with anything. Or did she say she has 2 kittens? Which I don't think that would help my case either way. Because ordering It Works wraps, whether you have kids or kittens, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I just wanted to say I tried them. They didn't work. We're good, right? Got them, tried one, didn't tell my husband, got incredible results, but I didn't take a before picture. That's how skeptical I was. So always take a before picture. And my husband told me, every single mom you know is going to want these. You need to, I'm okay with you ordering more, only if you do the business. And I wanted nothing to do with that, you guys. I've done another business in the past, and it was something that was very much like party based. You had to carry a bunch of inventory, and I'm an introvert. I'm shy. I wanted to be home with my kids more. I didn't want to be away from them more. So party based stuff, not my jam. So I wanted nothing to do with the industry. I wanted nothing to do with the business. I just wanted to get the wraps, honestly. And if that was the only way I could do it, then I was going to do it. So I signed up for the business. My original enroller plugged me into one group, got together with me in person once, airdropped me her entire notes section and said, this is everything you need to know. Go be successful. And I went, I'm done. I'm out. That's it. I'm out because it's too much. Right. And thankfully she had plugged me into that one group, and she had told me 3 people within the company to follow, and it was corporate. And so what I did was I kind of started following the people that were on there that were posting, or that corporate was posting about, tagging them, people that were having success. And I started following these people, and all of a sudden my newsfeed went from people that were super negative and complaining and finding everything wrong in the world to this overwhelming positivity and hope and inspiration and like learning to dream bigger. And it completely changed my,
You know, in an outside perspective, that sounds great to finally have your newsfeed not be so negative. But if it's just filled with people on MLMs, then it's false negativity because they're told to post about this. They're told to be positive. They're told to share about the business and the wonders of the business, and share about their friend successes and their family successes and the other team successes. It is a constant throwing up of positivity. They can't be negative. They're not really allowed to be negative. They're not allowed to say if they're having a bad day or whatnot. They have to say they're having the best day of their life because of the products. The products now have removed every negative thought in the world, and so they can only think positively. So it's like, if that was a true thing, that these people were actually that positive all the time, that would be a nice thing. But it's like, I know in an MLM, they're told to do this. So it's like, it takes away that, like, oh, that's nice, to like, it's not really that nice if they're being forced to do it, if they're being, fed this information, if they're literally copy and pasting this positivity between each other. It's fake positivity, which is kind of worse. At least people who are being negative or sharing how they feel and their frustrations, those are real humans sharing those things. That's reality, not the people in the MLMs talking about how wonderful and amazing and perfect everything is.
it changed my life before I even started making money, honestly. And the reason I stayed with the business was the community. It was the unique experience we get here of hope, where you can't get it from anywhere else, right? And so I did the business for 6 years. And in that time, my enroller left, her enroller left, her enroller left, everybody left. Everybody left. I were the original rock stars from back in the day. We're like the only 2 still standing, I feel like. And in 2021, after a year of COVID, we'd gone through almost losing my dad. We had gone through homeschooling our kids. I'd lost 2 of my favorite cousins. And my world just felt like it was crumbling. And I went, something needs to give. And my husband pulled me aside and he said, I know how much you love your business, but it's not really making you much money. And you're falling apart. Like, you're putting everything into this business because it's making you happy, but the rest of our life is falling apart. And he's like, you need to take a break. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'll take a break.
So then question for her, if her husband said you're not really making any money doing this, then why when It Works comes around, oh no, that's right. I was thinking when It Works came around, she joined again that her husband told her she needed to sell it. But no, it was right when she started, her husband told her she needed to sell it, which, do I believe that? That's always a hard one because, it's so sad that I have to be so skeptical on what anyone in an MLM says. Like how real is this? How much is exaggeration and how much of it is just complete BS? It's very hard to know because the lines blur so much, because they're going to tell people whatever they think somebody on the other side needs to hear. Whatever someone else in this call needs to hear, they're going to hit on every point that they can in the hopes that it will spark someone to join, and then get those people to join so that they can remain the rank of diamond and potentially get to double diamond, triple diamond, and so on.
Take a break. I just won't do much. And he goes, no, you need to shut it down because I know you and you're too obsessed with this business. You won't not work it. And so we had this big talk and I shut my business down. And it was the hardest decision, you guys, because I have always loved the company. I've always loved the products, but I wasn't having success and I hadn't had success. It took me over 3 years to hit Ruby, and I literally did it all by myself. I didn't have anybody working. And when I shut my business,
well, shouldn't you be doing it by yourself anyway? Because it's supposedly your own business. You're your own boss, babe. You shouldn't have other people there to help you. But then again, also we're a team, we're a community, we help each other. So, that's interesting. But at least I will give her something. She's at least being real that, like, hey, it took me 3 years to get to the 3rd rank. But then she's saying, like, oh, it's because I didn't have other people helping me. But it's like, I don't know if other people helping you would necessarily get you people underneath you. Like, that seems like a you thing that you have to do. Like, you reach out to your friends and family and strangers to join. I don't know if other people getting involved in that necessarily helps, unless like it's like calls like these that like get more people involved because they see like how special and wonderful and community is when there's all those people on the call. I don't know, it's interesting.
My business down, it gave me a break to just breathe and get my head together and figure out that I really needed to be here. And this company is my home, you guys. The second I closed my business, I cried for probably 3 days straight because I went, what did I just do? But I knew it was the right decision because I knew that if I was going to be part of this, I needed to be part of it with the right people. I needed to be part of something where I had support and I had the community and I had guidance and I had other people that were actively having success. It's great if somebody had success 10 years ago, but you need people that are actively building and doing the things in the trenches with you that are going to teach you what is working for them right now, right? And I had been following Krista. I don't even know when I started following her. We had randomly met at one event years and years and years ago. I don't remember meeting her. She doesn't remember meeting me, but we do have a picture together from there, so there's proof. And right around the time that I shut my business down, out of nowhere, she starts popping up in my Instagram stories like crazy. All I kept seeing was Krista. And it was like her posting about Disney, which my family is obsessed. It was her posting about her faith, which is a huge part of my world too. Lots of things that I just connected with. And I went, I don't know why this person is in my face all the time, but I feel like she's meant to be like my best friend. It was the funniest, most random thing. And I remember reaching out to her and saying, okay, I have to take a break from my business. I took a break, but I think I might want to come back in a few months. And if I do, can I join with you? Like, she was like, yeah. And I was missing the products already. It had been like 2 weeks and I was feeding for the products. I was like, I need my collagen.
Well, just because you left the business doesn't mean that you can't stop ordering the products. Like, don't you have friends that were still in there, and wouldn't you want to still support them and their small business? Just air quotes like crazy over that, but wouldn't you still want to support them if that's the case? Or do you only want to do it if you're profiting off of those products and the people also buying those products through you? It's not about supporting other people, unless like you didn't have the money to be doing that, then I can understand that. But it just is interesting when they're like, oh my God, I missed the products. It's like, nobody told you you had to stop. Just because you didn't do it as a business doesn't mean you need to stop using the products.
Now, so I started back on the products, and keep in mind, my business was closed. I was still posting about the products without even realizing it. I remember posting something, and it was just a cute cup with my collagen in it and a picture of the neck. And I had 5 people message me going, where do I get the collagen? And I went, dang, I used to be able to help you get that. And I just,
it's kind of making no sense. If she had to quit because she wasn't making any money, but then after 2 weeks of not being in the business, you post a picture of your collagen and you get 5 people asking you where you can buy it. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily lead to a sale, but if that many people, I feel like 5 is a lot to be commenting on an Instagram post asking where you got a certain product, then how is, I don't know, it doesn't add up for me. I hope that makes sense. Like, I feel like I can't really express it because, like, if people are asking you, strangers are asking you where to get something, which is kind of the whole point of this thing, is just even getting strangers to comment and interact with your post is already hard enough. But if she has 5 people asking her where she got the collagen, but again, it's gonna go back to what I just said, where it's like, it shouldn't matter whether you're in the business or not. You should be there to want to change people's lives. If you know of the magical collagen that will change people's lives, then you should direct them to one of your friends who is still in the business. The bottom lady down here, supposedly they got in at the same time. She knew she was still a part of it. You can send them over to her because you're not, it doesn't matter. You know, you can still help them. You can still help your friend. You're still supporting her business. You know, it's like she's complaining about that in a way. It's like, oh my God, I could have been making money off of these people. But it's like, but you weren't. You said you were not making money. So what is the difference between then and 2 weeks from then?
I just knew, like, I needed to be back in here when the time was right and when my family was kind of ready for it. And it was so perfect timing because I needed that break for myself, but it also gave me a chance to go and do my due diligence. I looked at a bazillion other opportunities in network marketing and out, and I went, okay, what is the best fit for, like, checking the boxes on my list? I needed to be home with my kids. I needed to bring in a good income. I needed the community, like all the things. And I could,
all the things. Yeah, all of those things, all of those check boxes can be checked on something that is not an MLM. And not It Works. To say you checked a billion other MLMs and they need to check all those boxes, staying home with your kids, making an income, and community, to me that sounds like every single MLM out there and what they promote and what they say they do. They're like, we have the best community out here, we have the best compensation plan out here, you can stay home with your kids. We've heard that. But again, outside of an MLM, that exists, but they act like it doesn't exist outside of an MLM. And it does, but I get that they need people to believe that it doesn't exist because they need people to believe that only in an MLM can you get those things.
I can tell you guys, I talked to people from so many different companies. I looked at so many compensation plans. There is nothing like what we have here. Nothing.
It's interesting because they all say that. We have heard that in every single MLM. You can't get what we have in our compensation plan anywhere else. If that's true across all of them, then none of it's true. Because you all have the same sort of compensation plan. You all have that little tiny blurb at the top of, like, you get 15% of all, personal and customer sales. And then you have this huge long thing of how much money you can make off of people who join your team. Does that sound familiar? Then it sounds like every single one of them. And yes, the percentages of how much money you can make off of your team is what changes. But really, if you can't get people to join underneath you, if you can't get people to buy products from you, then it doesn't matter what the compensation plan looks like. You're not going to make money.
There are companies that will tell you it's just like here, and it's not. Right? There's nothing like It Works.
So then, question again, sorry that I keep pausing. If other companies are going to tell you that it's like it's, like it's no other MLM, you know, this one is the unique special one, but that they're lying, then how do I know that you're not lying by saying the exact same thing that they say?
And so the second I knew I was ready, I came back in, I reached out to Krista, I said, okay, I'm ready, let's do it. And my first month back in, I signed 16 customers and 7 distributors in 20 days. 100% using the Diamond Tribe systems, you guys. I literally just jumped on every power hour posted, every Zoom, every training, and I said, I will do whatever I'm told to do. And so that was 2 years ago. So I did all of the things for 2 years, but I also did all the growing. And I knew
You can't say for 2 years, because I feel like already being in it does kind of, in a way, give you something. But it's like, are you going to say that it took you 2 years to reach the rank of diamond? Where it's still, again, like, we'll just say it's $3,000 a month. Is that nice? Yes. And I guess for a stay-at-home mom, maybe you just need a little bit of extra money. Sure, but it seems like you have to become obsessed with this business and that it becomes your everything. I don't know. I don't think that that's necessarily worth $3,000 a month. But then again, she's also obsessed with the products, which must mean that she buys a lot. So I would say that that, you know, also takes away some of that $3,000 profit. So maybe she's bringing in, if she's lucky, we'll say half, like $1,500 a month. And again, is that nice? Yes. But to be in 1 or 2% of the company making $1,500 a month, and it took you 2 years to do that? That's not selling it for me.
the second I knew what Ambassador Diamond meant back in the day, I said, that will be me one day. Not because I want the money, but because I want to be able to change that many people's lives. I want to be able to help that many people and be able to stand there and say, oh my gosh, like.
So then when you were out and 5 people reached out to you because they wanted to know what the collagen was, and you could technically change their lives that way by sending them over to someone that's already in it, you were upset then because you couldn't make the money off of those people, but now you're coming on and claiming you want to be at the top ranked at the company because you just want to help as many people as possible and it's not about the money. I definitely don't believe that, because you technically could help as many people as you want and stay the rank that you are, and it shouldn't make a difference. And notice how it's help as many people as you possibly can so that you could rank advance to the top, because it's all about having a bunch of people underneath you so that you can get to the top. But you guys don't seem to view that as an issue, that you have to recruit in order to get to where you are. That's a problem. It is.
Because like for me to get here, look at how many people are home with their families. Look at how many people are debt free. Look at how many people don't have to worry about medical bills now. Look at how many people don't have to worry about losing their house, whatever it is, right?
But so you're talking about how because you've now helped all these people become debt free and houses and medical bills. But yet you said that 2 years ago you had to quit because you weren't making any money. I mean, I know she said that it was due to like family issues, but she said she wasn't making any money. So now all of a sudden everybody's making all this money?
And my vision with the business is different from some people's. My vision is legacy. I want to leave something that when I'm not here one day, my kids can take it over, right? I want something that is for my family and that is tangible and that is going to last forever. And if it takes me 15 years to get Ambassador Diamond, I don't care. That's a lot of money a month. I'm totally happy to work for 15 years to make that, because any other job that I would be working, there's no way I would ever make that much, right? And so that's my perspective. And so we hit diamond, and I have a coach bag. It's actually on a shelf over there. I have a coach bag that I bought you guys after an event in 2018, and it sat on my shelf until the end of last month because it was my diamond reward gift, because I thought I was going to hit diamond back then and I didn't. And it sat there, and I finally got to break it out. And you guys, I have to tell you, the best thing about hitting diamond for me was not, oh, I'm diamond. It was that bag, finally getting to use that bag. And it was seeing my team win. It was seeing the people on my team win that led to the diamond promotion, because it was a team effort. And best thing that's ever happened to my family. Sorry, that was long.
No, I love it. That's good. You guys put your, like, there's a couple of things you said. I want to say like aha moments. Put your aha moments in the chat. You know, a couple of things I hear is like, you know, the dedication to see something through, the time spent. There's lots of it. Very powerful. So, Kate, we're going to circle back.
She lists two things that I don't even think she actually said, and then she goes, very powerful. That's about how every call, I think, typically goes. Like, oh my God, I learned so much. It was so powerful. Oh, what was said? Oh, powerful. Lots of things.
Tell us your story, how you got here. I laugh because I know how she got here. Me and her have been through every stage together, so I know. But tell everyone else.
Legit, it's so crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, this story is actually really interesting. So I met like 6 jobs ago before I joined It Works the first time in 2017. We met doing a charity thing, and then she got a job at a warehouse, and I followed her to the warehouse, and then she got a job at TELUS. I followed her to TELUS, and then she went to a new dealership in TELUS. I followed her to that dealership in TELUS. And then she moved to Kamloops, and I was all alone making money without her. And she was like, I've got this baby. I want to stay home. Like, I'm looking at things like, do you want to do this thing with me? And it wasn't It Works. It was a different company. It was like a flash in the pan, because a week later, she's like, actually, I have a different thing. And I'm like, okay, well, we've come this far. What are we doing? You know, and she's like, we're doing this. And so I signed up for It Works. And I think, you know, just looking back at that time in my life, like, what was it that allowed me to quit on myself so easily? It was that
Of course she worded it like that. You didn't quit on yourself. That's not what it was. The business probably wasn't giving you what they promise. It wasn't making you money. And that's not you quitting on yourself. The only time they speak negatively about themselves is a time when they quit, or anytime outside of the MLM. It's like, my life was horrible, or I couldn't do anymore, I quit on myself. It's like, that's the only time negative speak is ever allowed, because only positive speak is allowed when you're in the MLM.
I didn't understand what I was quitting, and I didn't understand what I had my hands on, because when you hear the story, you know that she watched the woman who she signed up with for like 3 years and watched all of her wins and watched it unfold in front of her, and it gave her a vision of what could happen for herself. But I actually didn't have that. I literally just had like, we can make money over here, right? And so I gave up on myself way too easily. I actually got distracted by another company, I think at the end there, when I was frustrated, and I had jumped from like a couple different companies until I kind of just like started to think I was going to be like the one to come up with my own business. And then I like, you know, started like trying to like come up. I just did a bunch of different stuff. And everything just didn't fit. It didn't fit for a couple of reasons. Like, inventory is a really big killer. If you've ever tried to venture out and make your own company, you realize like, wow, like inventory is a killer. And so I circled back around after traveling. I'd gone to Thailand, and I was like very aware that like people were traveling and not like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you here? Like, I was asking people at the hostels, like, what are you doing here? I ran into a lot of like subcontractors. And really just like when I got back, I was like looking around thinking, I don't want to be in this shop anymore. Like I was working at a cell phone place that did repairs, and I was just like, man, like, I don't want to be here. And my manager at the time had purchased coffee from a It Works rep and had brought it to work. And I'm literally drinking the coffee in this place I don't want to be, looking through the screen. And it was a post he had made about being able to be home. She didn't have to ask for time off when her family came to see her from the coast. And she was able to be there, and she didn't have to call and say, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? And the job that I had at the time, I very much had to ask my boss for anything. He was the other person who picked up the weight when I wasn't there. I was like running a shop, right? I was doing for him what any business owner would do, minus the paycheck, right? And so I just like, I realized, I'm like, I didn't even know what I quit before. Like, what would be the harm in me coming back? Like, why did I make it such a thing that like, it was so hard to come back? Why did it take so long? Until eventually I was like, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. And I just said yes. And like, this is my year 4 going diamond is year 4. It's not to say like, oh, it's going to take you 4 years to go diamond. Like, time does not matter in this business. It's what your effort is. It's your level of show up. It's your level of consistency. It's your, what do you do when your back's against the wall? Like, like you sometimes it takes a little bit to work through those things that allow you to step into the version of yourself that you need to be to become diamond, you know? And it's a decision. It's a decision. I've come close lots of times where I've like thought that I figured it out, and something in my personal life always interferes. And it's because I've always allowed it, until one day I just decided like it wasn't going to be the thing that stopped me from being successful. It was going to be the thing that was the reason I was successful.
You know, her, like, what she said, all of that, it sounds really good. It sounds great, and she sounds like a very determined person that truly probably would be really good at being a business owner for herself. But the MLM world has just gotten to her before, I guess, other things could. And they got in her ear and they were convincing her that her job that she's doing, like, that's the bad thing. You need to be home. You need to, you know, the cliche of like, you need to, you know, I don't have to ask anybody for permission to take a, you know, go on break or have family over or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I guess, but it's like, but you're making money. You're making money so that you can travel. You're making money so that you can go see other things and give presents and do all those other things. And, you know, it's like in this MLM, yes, they might be making money, but it took the people, the two ladies at the top here, 2 and 4 years to get to a rank where they are potentially profitable. People don't have that amount of time to become profitable. They need to become profitable yesterday. And the business, the MLM business cannot give them that unless they know a stupid amount of people and they are just a pro manipulator. It's just not possible.
And here we are in Penticton. I've literally moved to a small town with this business the month I went diamond, and it's just really incredible. It's really incredible.
Dang, it's so cool to like hear this and see this, and you know, it's crazy because I think a lot of people get really caught up in that time served, you know, and it's just, you're correct, like it's not the time, it's what you do within it, and it's also your attitude and perspective through it. And so I'm going to kind of go back and forth. I kind of have specific questions for both of you and like what I want to like talk about here, because I think there's so much value in everything you guys have gone through. I'm going to jump. Tell us if somebody was like, okay, I want to go diamond right now. To go diamond, you need customers, you need distributors. Okay. My question for you is, what would you, if you could give someone a list to like, do these things, you're going to get customers consistently, do these things, and this is how you're going to enroll distributors. Give us a few tips for both. And then I'm going to jump.
Yeah, so the first thing that I always teach my team is your 6 list. And this is old school, so some people that are around now might not even know what this is, but it's the basics of what to do for your business. Posting, messaging, interacting with your network, following up, personal development. Did I say adding to your network? Posting, messaging, adding to your network, interacting, following up, personal development. So it's 6 things that you just do over and over and over. And the key is the more success you want to have and the faster you want to grow, you just do more of them in a day, right? So instead of sending 10 messages, you send 20 or 50 or whatever you need to.
They're not like other MLMs. They don't do power hours and just message random people all day, every day, having conversations all day, every day to try and get people to buy and sign up underneath them. They're not like other MLMs. We've never heard that anywhere else. It's this thing where they think they're so unique, and maybe they just, I don't know if they believe that they're unique or they want to convince others that they're unique, but this messaging people, asking questions, becoming friends with them, interacting, that's the Beachbody Power Hour. We know this. That's what this is. That's how you get people. That's just what this business is. It's sales. It's going out, talking about the product, and then trying to convince people to also do what you do. That's the job. That's it. It's not anything special. These people are not going to tell you anything new and different about how they reached diamond. It's going to be, I messaged a bunch of people, I got a bunch of people to buy, and I was lucky and got a bunch of people to join underneath me and get them to stay. That's all this is. That's all the job is. And I know that people get into these things hoping, praying to hear something new. Maybe they have something different. Maybe this one truly is the different one. And then they get into calls like these and they're like, oh my God, my life was horrible and the worst and the awfulest until I got into this business. And the way that I got to where I am is I messaged a bunch of people every day. I was consistent about it. I posted a bunch about it and I consistently bought products. That is the blueprint guide on what you do in every single MLM out there. There is literally nothing else. The products and the names change, but the way that the structure is run is all the same.
And with signing customers, it's conversation, right? And however you get in those conversations, whatever works for you. It can be talking to people. I was at, I actually get Botox in my jaw, so I was there 2 days. So if you see bruises, that's why. But I was sitting down and the girl who was kind of getting me ready, we started talking about migraines and I told her what had helped me with mine. And I told her the importance of like healing your gut. And she said, oh, how did you do that? So I told her about our products and she's ordering products. Like it's having conversations, it's host to post, but it's also reaching out to people. It's also posting consistently. It's also building those relationships so that when people feel comfortable reaching out to you, they're going to do it. Right. And it's for newbies. My biggest thing is get in the habit of doing all of the things. He and I both call it the circle of life. I think we both started calling it that separately, but it fits because if you're not, it's like a wheel. If you're not doing all of the parts of it, if you take off one part of the wheel, it falls apart, right? You have to be talking to people, but then you have to be posting so that when you message them, they look back and they go, oh, okay, she's not hacked. She's actually, this is her, what she's doing, right? You have to be growing your network so you're not talking to the same 10 people all the time. And so my thing with newbies is not so much sign as many customers as you can fast. It's get in the habit of doing the things because we're building residual income and we're building a platform that you're going to build on where even if you don't sign 10 customers this month, you're going to be able to sign customers every month going forward and be confident teaching your team to do that, if that makes sense.
Totally. And the circle of life, you guys, it's literally the best way to describe this business, or like think about it as a recipe. Like how we've built over the last 6 years has changed. You know, back in the day, I mean, I was saying this to Krista with the K yesterday, we were talking about Instagram and I'm like, man, growing on Instagram back in the day was like, we didn't have reels. It was like putting our phone on, I put my account on private. I would follow a bunch of people and interact with them in hopes that they would add me back times every day, always. And, you know, now we have it easier because we have reels and Half and all these things. But the point is if you want to be successful in this business, everything runs together. Without posting, if you were to message someone, so like think about like posting, messaging, growing your network, following up, learning, okay, all these things, circle of life. If you're posting and you're not messaging, those people that you're not messaging are probably never going to see your posts. If you're messaging like crazy, but you're not posting and branding yourself, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Go to look at your page. You're probably hacked. If you're not growing your network, but you're posting and you're messaging, you're running into a wall. If you're not developing your mind, you're going to talk yourself out and quit before we even get started because you're mentally not like I was going to say mentally not stable, but I don't think you can say that today. I was going to say that was a joke. Don't worry. If anyone could joke like that, it's me. Okay. But I'm just saying that was the wrong term. I'm really doing this a lot lately. I'm saying the worst examples and I'm like, don't say that. If you're not personally developing your business mindset, you're not going to be at the capacity to grow it. Oh my gosh. I can only see 4 faces and they're laughing. So hopefully everyone else is laughing too. Okay. Anyways. Okay. That was awesome. So question for you. Okay, so we talked about what to do. We talked about the daily tasks. We know we have to post, message, grow your network, follow up, learn. I had a conversation while she was building to diamond, and she said, you know, I just had this realization that going, and guys, drop a 1 if this is you. You're maybe at Ruby or you're at Emerald, and you're like, I'm trying to go diamond. There's a block. I can't get there. Maybe you've hit diamond in the past and you've fallen, and you're trying to get back to diamond. She said, what I realized was going from Ruby to diamond was a complete shift. And so I want you to talk about what that shift looked like to you in the terms of you and your action, your leadership, like just take it away, all the things.
Okay, so I basically had some shifts in my personal life where like I had to figure it out. There was now like, once you figure out your why, like she said, you know, all the things, it really comes down to what's your daily task.
You know, they say all the things a lot of times as if people know what all the things are. And it's like, if you're supposed to be like selling this business, shouldn't you be telling people what all the things are so they know what they're getting themselves into? Instead of just like, oh, you know all the things. I don't know all the things. You have to tell me all the things. It'd be like if you got a job and you're in orientation and they're talking about it and they go, you know, all the things that you do for this position. And I'd be like, I don't know what isn't that the point of this whole, like, thing? Isn't that why I'm here, is for you to teach me? Like, when you're in orientation, when you're training for the job, they teach you and mention what all the things are. They don't just say, oh, all the things. You just have to do all the things. No, tell them, break it down, explain. But of course, if you explained, then it would become very overwhelming, and I don't think a lot of people would do it. You know, even her circle of life analogy, like, it's like, you have to do this to be able to do this, to be able to do that, to do this. It's like, oh my God, that's a little, like, I mean, of course, at the core of it, it's just like, post, talk, invite, post, talk, invite. Like, that's what it is. But they will add in a lot more, and there is more to it, of course. You know, talking to people, having multiple conversations, plus posting, plus being a part of these calls, plus speaking to people out in the world, plus making sure that your customers are happy, plus, you know, buying product and trying it and posting. But it is a lot. It is a lot. They are having to do a lot of the things. You know, it's like, I know for the most part what all the things are, but then again, it varies in every MLM. It varies in every team of what they consider all the things. So I just think that they should really say what all the things are, just being like, you know, all the things. Maybe they don't even know what all the things are.
Where's your chart? Who are your people, right? You got to know little things that make you a good leader. Who are you tagging when the lives come up? Who are you sharing them to? Who's your launch? Who's new in your business that needs you the most? Who needs you to come up and teach them how to be a leader? Who needs you to come up and say, this is how we chart? Who needs you to really just like, you need like having it with you? Like, who's your promotions? Are they showing up at a level that will actually let this promotion happen for them, right? How are you being a leader? And there's all these different layers that comes to it. And really it started with just like deciding, now I need to make sure that this is happening for me and I can't rely on everybody else. So I need to make sure that I'm prepared to do it all. And if I get 20% out of my team, that's amazing. But if I'm going to be doing 80%, where am I placing my people once I get them? Where am I placing my DTs once I get them? You know, and really, if you don't have that chart in front of you, you won't get there. Like, I'd love to sugarcoat it and say, like, you know, if you just show up every day and you do those 6 things, like, and you just plug in these, you have no chart, you'll get it. Not a thing. Okay. If you can not get to diamond without a chart, it really will just save you time. It will save you time because you'll cut the ish with yourself and you'll pull out a diamond chart. Right. And like, you got to know where your 400 boxes are and what they got to look like. And really just like realizing that the people who haven't decided to do this for themselves need you to do it for yourself so that they can do it for themselves. Like, if you don't want to pick up your chart and you don't want to be that person, like, how is the next person going to know, oh, I better have my chart in front of me. Like, what are we doing? Right. When they get a sale, like, you know, you got to like update your chart, right? It's a team thing. And then realizing, you know, when you become diamond, you've got an emerald in there and you've got 3 rubies in there who are also just behind you, right? They're just learning how to do the same thing. So you really just have to turn around and share it and teach it. And charting is where it's at. You've got to chart. You've got to chart.
You know, I like when I hear you talk, it really clicked for me when we were having this conversation whenever this was. And it's just successful people. And I don't even like if you're successful in what you do, you know, let's say building to diamond, like whatever it is, you take ownership. And I feel like so many of us like don't take ownership because it's easier to like not take ownership, but it's easier to okay, what am I trying to say? Like, for example, building to diamond, drop a 2 in the chat if you agree with what I'm about to say. Okay, but don't put 2 yet because I didn't say it. I hate that. I'm like, you don't even know what I'm going to say. I could say something so weird now and then you look weird. Okay, so listen, just joking. What was I going to say? Oh, people feel they can't show up because they're not a leader. You know what I mean? Like, I remember being an executive when my upline left. Okay, and I was like, dang, like, or I probably wasn't even I was probably a distributor, and thinking like, okay, no one's going to do this but me. There was nobody to put it off onto. There was no saying, oh, just go follow Jackie, or like, just go do this. You have to think of it like, the person that has partnered with you, they're not here for me. They're not here for, they are here because they've trusted you. And so you have to ask yourself, if I were to lead by example right now, even though I'm not where I want to be yet, I'm not a diamond yet, but in order for me to be a diamond, I have to start showing up like a diamond. And so, you know, seeing people like,
I get their mentality when they say this, and again, heard this before, is you have to think like a diamond, you have to think like a master, whoever, you know, above. You have to think like the top rank in order to get to that top rank. I heard it before, but it's just an interesting concept to be like, especially if you're like a cashier, to be like, you know, I'm gonna start acting like the CEO so that I too can be the CEO one day. Like, just in a normal context of like a business setting, that just sounds really silly and weird. But in their world, it makes perfect sense and is only in It Works do you hear this unique, one of a kind information. It's like they want them to put so much time and effort, which you have to do at the diamond rank in order to like maintain that rank. But they want people who are like distributor or ruby or executive, whatever the next rank is, they want them to put in that much work that early on, because like they kind of want people to be like, well, I mean, I've already put this much time and effort into this, and if I quit now, then all that time and effort was not, you know, was worthless. So it's like they want them to do this. It's how I see it is another form of manipulation. You know, you've already put in all this time and effort. You're already thinking like a diamond. Why would you leave now?
making their own training videos and like not having to reinvent the wheel, guys. We have the wheel already laid out. But I believe that being a good distributor and a good leader isn't telling people what to do. It is you making the decision to go first, regardless of what anybody else is doing around you. And then saying, not saying do, it's I'm doing. Let me show you how. Here's my task list. Here's how I posted. And that's really what I see with this, you know? And so you see the shift in it. So
wait a minute, I'm now full-time from my phone. Like, what does that look like? Wow. Like, that's just opened me up to so many other things that I can, you know, do because of that. And it's a very powerful thing that you don't want to underestimate. If you've got your hands on it, if you got a bead on diamond, you want to follow through and get there. It's so worth it.
Yeah. You'll never look back and think, oh, wow, that took so, like, you'll just be happy to be there. You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to look back and regret the work. But you know what I have looked back and regretted? Lots. Just joking. You guys don't have enough time for that today. But I've looked back and I've regretted the things I didn't do. You know, I regretted not working hard, right? What would you say? What would you say for, that's a whole different Zoom. Yeah. You guys are going to need to pencil in like 72 days for that one. Linz, what would you say?
So for me, I totally agree with like what you help, the way that you get to impact other people's lives on your road to diamond. That to me is the most special part of the whole thing. And that is something that for a long time I didn't get. And I think that's part of why it took me a while, right? Like you have to grow into who you're meant to be at these different levels, right? But being able to impact your team and being able to help your team and being able to have the experience behind you to say, I tried this and it didn't work, so this is what I did. Or I tried this and it did work, so let's all do it, right? So being able to give back and be contributing to helping your team is huge.
I don't know why that made me laugh. It's like, I tried this and it didn't work. I tried this and it did work, so now we're all going to do it. Every single one of us is going to do it. It's now going to be the whole group's job to do this because it worked for one person.
For me, freedom. Diamond means freedom. Diamond means the freedom to choose, right? It means the freedom to choose if you want to keep going to your job or if you want to do this full time. It means the freedom to be able to pay off debt. It means the freedom to have like savings account in case something comes up. For us, it's the freedom that we're going to California for 3 weeks in November, right? There's so many different aspects to the freedom. But to give you guys an example, because I stayed committed to this business, I spent my day working in little bits from my phone while I was at a doctor's appointment, while I was resting, while I was at the beach with Courtney, like doing just all of these different things. And
because people in other jobs can't do that. They can't answer emails from their phone. You know, it's also better being able to turn it off, you know, go to the beach, go to doctor's appointments, you know, do whatever you want and not have to worry about work. That's more joyful to me than constantly 24/7 doing work at places you shouldn't be doing work.
The freedom to be able to say, I want to make my own schedule and I want to do this for the rest of my life and I want to teach other people how to do this. That's what Diamond means to me. Is it's the freedom to be able to dream bigger and inspire other people to dream bigger and teach people that, you know what, you don't have to suffer, you don't have to struggle. Life doesn't have to be the 9 to 5 if you don't want it to be. If you want it to be, cool, right? Like if you love your 9 to 5 and you just want to do this on the side, do both. Make a ton of money at both options, right? But to have the freedom to choose.
Yeah, it's not about the money. That's what you kind of realize. It's not, money is just, it's easy come, easy go. But options, freedom, like I think that's what brings happiness, you know, to be able to choose, right? To be able to know like this, I can make the choice. So guys, this has been awesome. You guys drop it in the chat if you're inspired. Really quick, I'm going to remove myself from the highlight here. What I would love you guys to do, I think one of the best ways that you can enroll distributors and attract people to your business is showing people that you have a community of people and that you're learning, right? Like I wanted to come in and I wanted to show people that I was learning and like being a part of something. Sorry, I'm just looking at how I'm like, put you guys, I just put it back. I'm like, okay, see you guys, just joking. Take a picture, you guys. I want you to boomerang that you're on this call. I want you to take a screenshot. Guys, just sit there and smile. This isn't awkward at all. Just hold the smile because 60 people are taking pictures right now. So keep smiling. I'll tell you when you can stop. Keep smiling. Work it. Okay, and put it on your. Sorry, I gotta chill. Okay, put it on.
Moment's cracking me up.
Oh, I just have to make it awkward, you know? What is it without it making it awkward? But seriously, guys, take that picture, share it on your timeline, talk about how you just got to learn from 2 amazing ladies who just promoted, and have good energy behind it. I'm super proud of all you guys, and I can't wait for everything that's coming. It's going to be bomb.com. So love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Super proud of you both. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Road to VIP Power Hour. I will show up to this one. Don't you worry. I forgot the last one, but I'll be there tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. It works, ladies. What does she mean she forgot the other one? Isn't your only job when you're this high up is just doing the Zoom calls? How could you forget? Another thing she said there at the end, like, it's not about the money, it's about the freedom, the life-changing, like, well, one, we do know it's not about the money because looking at the income disclosure statement, it absolutely proves the majority of people do not make any money, any life-changing money, anything like that. But also, yet they will say, like, you know, people on our team have paid off all their debt, have paid off medical bills, paid off their house. If it's not about money, which then they, you know, of course, talked about how being Diamond is, you know, you're going full-time, so you make full-time income. So if it's not about the money, then why are you bringing up the money? It is about the money. It is. This is a job. So therefore, people want to know, why am I putting in all this time and effort and years into this if not for money? Oh, just to help benefit other people? You can do that in other ways. You can volunteer your time where you go to help people at homeless shelters and help, cook meals for people. You can go deliver things to people who need help. You can donate your time and goods and money, whatever it is, to causes. You can go volunteer at an animal shelter. All of this is volunteering your time that truly does help people and help creatures and help whatever. If that's what you want to do, then do that. You don't need to be investing in a pyramid scheme. You don't need to be, getting a starter kit cost to be like, oh, I'm just here to help people. You're selling gummy vitamins. That's not helping people. If you truly are, you have a health and fitness and want to do that and create a community, you can find people online, you can find Facebook groups, and you can join that and you can help, support each other and help support those people and keep people accountable. That's helping people. All of this for free. If you're joining It Works, you're doing it for the money. If you're wanting to get to the rank of diamond, you're wanting to get 4 ranks up and be in 2 to 1% of the company, you're doing it for money. But they will try and convince people that if they want to do this for money, that's a selfish mindset. You should be here for the people. You should do all that. Because at the end of the day, they're not making money. So they have to convince you some other way on why you're here and why you should stay. Because if you were at a job and you weren't making money and they were trying to convince you to stay, you would leave. Any normal job where you're not making money, you would leave. But in an MLM, they will convince you that that's a selfish mindset and you should stay for the community. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk anything and everything. It works in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!